All right. So, in case you have been under a rock in terms of Magic the Gathering news lately, they're crashing again. Yeah, that's right. Again. Um, Magic the Gathering has not been doing very well, and even the apologists, even the sycophantic Gamergate media, because they still haven't learned their lesson. The Gamergate media still has not learned their lesson and simping for the corpies. They're still simping for the corporations. These are not your guys. These are the but even Polygon here. And yes, this is Polygon. I apologize for the well, if they're saying it, just imagine how bad it actually is. Hasbro's squeezing Magic the Gathering players for too much money, Big Bank warns. A bank has gone to Hasbro, who's controlling Wizards of the Coast, saying, you might be charging too much. Well, shit. Stock plummets as analysis says Hasbro is killing its golden goose. A Bank of America analyst says Hasbro is destroying the long-term value of Magic the Gathering by overprinting cards. Now, we already know that they don't give a shit about card quality, and we also know that they are doing a lack of quality control in their meta, in their design. Their card game design is suffering horrendously. The dire warning was accompanied by a double downgrade of Hasbro stock from buy to underperform, as its valuation fell more than 5%. Hasbro is overproducing Magic cards, which has propped up recent results. Price card prices are falling. Again, I never really cared about card prices. I care about the meta, I care about the mechanics, I care about the game set. That's kind of my jam. But in any case, game stores are losing money. Well, that's a problem. Collectors are liquidating and large retailers are cutting orders. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Hasbro has recently touted the performance of its Wizard of the Coast business unit, which includes Magic as well as the Dungeons and Dragons tabletop role-playing game. Oh, we'll get to that later. Haas notes that Magic alone accounts for some 15% of Hasbro's annual revenue and some 35% of its annual earnings, so it's quite a hefty chunk. See, and here I thought that Hasbro was just kind of like had a passing interest that they're mainly still selling the toys, the action figures. Apparently not. Apparently, the truth is that Hasbro really does rely on Magic's income, and we treat Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering as like this puny little subsection. That's not exactly the case. 35% of your annual earnings is 35% of your annual earnings. That's a big, healthy chunk. So, um, if they're messing around, chances are you might be able to leverage something about it. Sales of the collectible card game nearly doubled over the pandemic. Well, yes. And Hasbro has urged that growth onward with additional new releases throughout 2021 and 22. However, this individual believes that the end of that growth curve is looming over the horizon, in part because, quote, Magic has grown primarily by extracting more revenue from each player rather than growing its player base. You're not opening up the market to new people. You have not captured the imagination of the rising generation. How could that happen? Well, you haven't stuck to basics. You haven't focused on gameplay. You haven't made it easier for people to jump in. And you've done it by promoting Well, Magic used to be a fun community to break into. It used to be a community where, yeah, there was some cheese, there was some like broken things going around, but that, even though you could win that way, it was kind of frowned upon. You had to be a little more creative. You were taught how to organically grow your deck. That doesn't happen anymore. These kids coming into this hobby now want to make a tournament winner rather than tell a story with the deck. That's what it's actually about. So um there's no noob hierarchy. There's no beginner set. There's no set where kids can jump in and say, "Oh well, I jumped in now, and now I can actually among this new local game store, I can, grapple, compete, trade cards, and get a new formula going." No, no. Because of the internet, and not just because of the internet, but because of the poor, poor game design, because the art's crap, because the cards are coming out shit, because of a host of other issues, there's no longer a culture of a hodgepodge, build your own grassroots from the ground up, pull yourself by the bootstraps kind of thing. You are from the bat coming in to start your own Magic deck with a list you got online from some autistic expert who said on this draw you should have this combination, and that's how people are expected to come into the hobby now. And it's not fun. It's just not fun. And so, yes, Magic has grown primarily by extracting more revenue from the current fan base. And they are getting very greedy, and it's fairly obvious. For individual retailers, the effect can be seen on store shelves. The increased supply has crashed secondary market prices and has caused distributors, collectors, and local game stores to lose money on Magic. The store has to buy the packets of cards before you buy them. That's how Magic makes it. That's how Wizards makes their money. Like when you buy a pack of cards from the game store, Wizards doesn't give a shit. Wizards doesn't get a cut. Wizards already got their cut. That's what you have to understand. As a result, we expect they'll order less product in future releases. Of course they will. They don't want to lose money on this dying product. That's what this is. He also called out the Magic 30th anniversary set as particularly egregious. This is interesting, guys. These $999 bundles include just 4 packs of cards. 4 packs. Now, 4 packs, there's 15 cards in each pack for a combination of 60 cards. Now, these are normally priced around $5 each, but these special collector's packs include reprints of highly sought after cards such as the Black Lotus. And if you are in the know on the trading side of this card game, this is a huge slap in the face. Massive. Wizards made a deal with its players and its fan base a long time ago that said, okay, we're going to maintain the value of these cards by promising to never, ever, ever reprint them. Because, scarcity is where value lies when it comes to collectibles. They're doing it anyway. They're reprinting the cards anyway. This reintroduction of the cards still breaks a vow made to the original fans decades ago. And there are Magic the Gathering fans who will sue Wizards for this infringement. Not only is the price excessively high, but this set also includes reserve list cards, which Hasbro has promised to never reprint. This has created panic among collectors, and we're seeing collections being liquidated now that the scarcity value of certain Magic the Gathering cards are obviously in question. Hasbro needs to cut its print runs going forward in order to allow more of its older product to sell through. Local game stores already appear to be selling Magic's latest expansion set, The Brothers' War, at a loss on other secondary markets. Draft booster boxes are now available for $107, and set booster boxes for $112, below a breaking even price of $115 and $120. In other words, gaming stores have bought their promised supply of Magic the Gathering cards and selling them at a loss on secondary markets. That cannot continue. Or else the market will fail. Now, technically, because these local game stores are they don't care. Their product has already been bought as far as they're concerned, but it's not getting to the hands of the actual Magic the Gathering card player. Which brings us to, well, yours truly, the Shade Master. The reason I exist is because Magic Wizards and Hasbro has been doing this drama for quite some time now. And my strategy, the reason that I'm here, is because I made a tabletop game based on Magic the Gathering. And we're able to put these cards through a formula, through a system, where you can play with your Magic the Gathering cards, play with your deck as a character, or put the cards in through and play them as NPCs. This is what the Shades of Dominion does. It removes all this. It removes the money. It removes it's a return to traditional Magic the Gathering playerdom, because that's what we're here for. Back when I was playing Magic, it was about making a deck that was based on a character. You were the planeswalker, and you were the one casting the spells. You were the one trying to eliminate your opponent. You would travel to different planes of existence. That's what your global enchantments represent. But what we've been able to do with Shades of Dominion is completely take that experience of the card game and have it turn into a player character that you control, that you can advance, that you can learn new spells with, that you can increase their mana capacity with, so that they can cast larger spells. You're going to grow this character, and that's what we offer as an experience here on the Shade Master. Because we're playing the Shades of Dominion, and whenever we get a chance, we look at Magic the Gathering fucking about again, messing up, and throwing the shade, as we absolutely should. So, that's the latest. That was on November 14th, and today it is 10 days from this article, which means it hasn't gotten any better. That's why I'm making the video. I've been a bit on a hiatus, but next week, on Thursday, we're going live again. We're going to start playing. So that's what we're going to be doing, not this Thursday, not tomorrow, or when you see this, but a week from. We we will be playing the Shades of Dominion once more. And I'm going to have a whole lot of fun. We've been on hiatus for way too long. I've been feeling very unproductive, and that's why we're doing this. So, back in the saddle, guys. We're back. I hope to see you there, and always, always, always find some time to throw some shade. Bye-bye.